Anniversaries are something that either A, we love to celebrate and is something that brings back great memories and just something that's fantastic. And other times, anniversaries are something that we really just wish we could forget. And for me, today is 11 years since I broke my wrist. And for the most part, it's a day I wish kind of would have just gone away, but it doesn't. It comes around every year, and it's a great time to be able to just reflect and, think about what's happened and what's gone on these last 11 years. So my typical norm in celebrating or ditching this day really is more what it is for me, is to go to the gym and, do something really crazy. PR a lift or learn something new. Just do something that you wouldn't expect somebody with a disability and a deadly chronic pain condition to do. It's my way of telling it to kind of go to hell. You've tried to kill me. You've tried to take everything from me. And, I'm going to go do something really fun and crazy and stupid. So, but at the encouragement of a couple of friends, I've decided to try and do something a little different today. This is not my norm. This is not, generally speaking, who I am. I'm the one who keeps everybody at arm's length and just goes and does me and lives my life. But I guess that's not really helping anybody else or necessarily even myself in some regards. So here goes nothing and a jump off and a leap into the deep end of saying, it's okay, maybe people can be let in, and it's not going to hurt me or kill them or anything else. So here goes nothing, I guess. Crazy. Anyway, so 11 years ago today, I was snowboarding. I fell and I had my arm back behind me and I rolled over the top of it. Dumb, stupid, crazy, insane me knew that it was broken and I was going to be in the OR. I was pretty sure of it, all of the above. And I got up and snowboarded down the mountain. Now, I don't necessarily recommend that you do something like that. That was a little bit crazy. So make smarter choices than I did. I did end up breaking my wrist. I had 4 different fractures, different breaks. I shattered my radius and had what's called a compress fracture. So I took a portion of the bone and put it into my joint. And then that was my radius. On my ulna, I had multiple cracks throughout it and also had a styloid fracture. The next day, I did end up in the OR and had a plate and 6 screws put into my arm. And, really from there, hell was basically unleashed on my arm. It seemed like every time I turned around, went back to my orthopedist for the first about 2 years, we were scheduling another surgery, new doctors, different procedures, just kind of anything and everything was going on and happening, more drugs, more medications. They were just kind of trying to throw everything at me to get on top of pain because we had 0 pain control. And within about 3 months, they diagnosed me with a deadly chronic pain disease called complex regional pain syndrome. And mine was diagnosed as severe and uncontrolled. So in 11 years, they have never broken a pain cycle. No matter what combinations of drugs and procedures and what we've done, they have never been able to break a pain cycle of mine. And I also have pain that no matter what we've done outside of really big blocks, it's never been able to be gotten on top of. So it's definitely been a trying 11 years dealing with that much pain. Every time I did turn around, it was another surgery. It was something else. It was just crazy. Most of it I've tried to just block and forget about because it was just easier to be able to try and survive. Eventually they found that my shatter didn't actually heal right. It healed down and I lost about 10 millimeters of bone out of it. And it had to be fully reconstructed. I had grafting taken out of my hip. And from there, actually, they found from my initial injury that I had shredded the entire inside of my wrist as well. So a complicated injury just became even more complicated. After this surgery, they had absolutely no pain control. And due to the amount of pain that I was in, I walked through death's doors twice. God, what do you even say? I sat there at night holding my 2 dogs, Mungo and Otto, and, just cried and bawled and begged my dogs to forgive me that I couldn't hold on and I couldn't deal with the pain anymore. And, so when I walked through death's doors, a voice that I don't know who it was, I'd never heard it before or since, actually asked me, when I was gone, who was going to take care of Mungo and Otto. And Mungo and Otto are the only reason that I came back. they are why I have clung to life and why I keep clinging to life. So thank you, Otto, who's still here with me. He is the reason that I do continue to cling to life. So, it wasn't fun. And that is a definite consequence when you have a chronic pain disease, dealing with death and, it's something that you deal with. It's something that you face a little more frequently than people would like to know or understand. Pain is not good on the body. They had me on really high dose combinations of Oxycontin and oxycodone, and I finally decided it wasn't working, and I hated the way the drugs made me feel, and they weren't helping. So I did the next really stupid thing in my life, and I cold turkeyed them on my own. Don't ever do that. Do not ever cold turkey narcotics, especially high dose combinations of really big ones, on your own. It was really stupid. I was very lucky that nothing happened and that I survived and made it through it. But cold turkeying narcotics and that withdrawal is probably one of the most horrific things that I have done and I have faced. It's unbelievable of what it is, what it takes, and what you go through when you withdraw from narcotics. So I get it. I understand that world. Anybody out there, I feel for you. I'm sorry. You can make it through it. You can get through it. It does end, but make sure that you get help. From there, really, it's been more the mental, the emotional, the psychological pain also that I get to deal with. There are days and times that I get to sit on the sidelines of something that friends are doing and just laugh and say, hey, I'm going to be your cheerleader and I'm going to cheer you guys on because this is, looks like a ton of fun, but I'm not going to be able to do it. There's other times that I sit on the sideline of that and, just cry and scream inside because it's something that I would love to be able to do. And I will not ever be able to do it again. And those days are really hard. It takes everything out of me to stand there and watch people do that. There have been other days that I have had people, just ostracize me and leave me out and tell me, hey, because of your disability, you can't join in, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. And sometimes it's harder when it's from other people, but they've intentionally left me out on the sidelines. So those are definitely things that I get to deal with every day as well, or frequently anyway. I have been the butt end of people's jokes, their taunting, their teasing, really just sometimes complete inappropriateness of someone that, mine's a mild disability. I can't even imagine what other people go through and deal with, but I know what I've had to have and endure from people just being completely inappropriate. So that's never an easy situation to be able to deal with a lot of those things either. And I'd have to say sometimes it is more the emotional, the mental, the psychological aspects of it that get really hard and are some of the hardest to be able to deal with. There's days that I have to admit to myself and realize that I can't even do basic functions and tasks of life. Cutting up food, putting clothes on, walking, washing my hands. Some days I can't do anything. I'm just left incapacitated because of the pain. So it's definitely not been a pleasant 11 years, but it's been 11 years where I've grown a lot as a person, as an individual, and I hope going forward that I'm able to realize more what I have gained and who I have become because of this. And, who knows, maybe me being brave enough and willing to share some of my story, it can help somebody else who's in a similar situation or going through something as well, that, you're not alone. There's others of us who have done it. We've gone through it, and, we're here. Don't suffer alone. Don't struggle alone. As the person telling you who has done it all alone, don't do that. It's not fun. It's not easy. It's not pleasant. And learning to let people in is definitely a hard thing. So anyway, there's some of my reflection on what it's been like for 11 years dealing with a disability and a deadly chronic pain condition. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day.